A well-preserved skull was unearthed in a Scythian kurgan near the city of Nikopol, Ukraine, in 1945 by the renowned Soviet archaeologist and Scythologist Boris Grakov. The kurgan was dated to the 5th century BC. Prominent Soviet sculptor-anthropologist Mikhail Gerasimov decided to reconstruct the face of the Scythian based on that skull. Gerasimov is famous for developing the first technique of forensic sculpture based on findings of anthropology, archaeology, and paleontology. Gerasimov reconstructed the faces of more than 200 people, including Yaroslav the Wise of Kyiv and Andrei Bogolyubsky of Suzdal. Gerasimov established that the skull belonged to a mature man of approximately 45 years old. His lower jaw had a clearly visible trace of an old wound, most likely an arrow. The wound was caused by an arrow shot from a great distance, and the wounded Scythian was higher in relation to the shooter. He was probably on horseback, and the shooter was on foot. The arrow hit the main body of the lower jaw in its very corner on the right side. Judging by the condition of the inside of the jaw, there was no serious injury to the tongue and hyoid muscles. The jaw did not lose its functionality, but the wounded man was forced to chew mainly with his left side until the wound healed. There was no particular disfigurement as a result of this facial wound. The relatively small scar on the lower part of the cheek was not very noticeable and was most likely covered by the beard. The natural facial asymmetry resulting from the wound also did not make an unpleasant impression. Mikhail Gerasimov concluded the following. Quote, "According to anthropological characteristics, the skull from Cercobaro is certainly Europeoid, sharply dolichocephalic, with a wide forehead and a high and wide face. In order to make its place among other Scythian skulls more obvious, I provide a comparative table of measurements of male skulls of the Black Sea Scythians. Comparing this documentary portrait with the known images of Scythians on the Chertomlik vase, the Kulaba vessels, and on the Salika comb. It should be noted that all these images ultimately show the same typical ethnic features, very close to the reconstructed portrait. There is no doubt that the differences in these images should be attributed primarily to some element of stylization, common in any, even realistic, form of art. The portrait of the Scythian from Cercobaro can be considered a typical representative of the Scythians of the Black Sea steppes. The book Royal Scythia, Greece, Kyiv Rus has some little-known facts about the life of the Scythians.